We'll check it out. Ready to launch? Here we go. Wow. That's incredible.
Now I get it. I get the hype.
All right.
Yep, so just floor it. What do you think, Sarah? Hold
I
on for
kind of
dear
like
life.
it. It's good.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Overnight test drive with the Tesla Cybertruck. Didn't have much time to do it, but hey, I've never done a launch in a Cybertruck. I know the book says 2.6 seconds to 60. I'm not going to time it, but I wanted to show you kind of the process. So let's check it out. Let's go into dynamics. We're in Beast, launch mode, learn more. Whoops. Okay, press and hold the brake with your left foot, press and hold the accelerator with your right foot. Ready to launch will appear on your screen. To launch, release the brake. Wait until suspension is lowered. So let's check it out. We're in Beast. So foot on the left brake. And preparing for launch. Suspension entering cheetah stance. Lower in the front, upper in the back. We'll check it out. Ready to launch? Here we go. Wow. That's incredible. Holy cow. You know, I've had Model 3 Performance 2.9 seconds to 60. This is supposed to be about 2.6 with that 5-foot rollout subtracted. I still have to research if it includes a 5-foot rollout, the Model 3 Performance, because then it's even closer. What's most surprising in launching this car is that it's so big and heavy, and it just feels so agile and sporty and quick. Pretty incredible. I'm gonna try one more launch here real quick. So foot on the brake, mash the accelerator. It's loading, preparing, suspension entering cheetah stance, and ready to launch. Here we go. Wow. That's incredible. Just incredible. If you haven't ever test driven a Cybertruck CyberBeast, you got to do it. And even the regular Cybertruck, 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds, still pretty incredible. Definitely worth a drive. Drive-by-wire steering. What does it really look like and feel like? Well, you only turn the wheel max that much, and it turns the entire car, almost just like a half turn, 3/4 turn. It's 4-wheel steering. So literally to go this 90-degree turn, I've got it all the way turn, and look, I'm going to cut the road off. It's such a hard turn. Actually have to overcorrect back this way. So maneuverable in this Cybertruck CyberBeast. It's the only Tesla right now they have with drive-by-wire steering, where it's sending information to the computer to turn the wheels when you turn this. It's not connected obviously to the wheels, and it really makes a big truck much more maneuverable. Pretty cool in the Tesla Cybertruck. Here we go. The youngest Cybertruck driver ever. 18 months. She's got the wheel at hand. All right, Emma, good job. Who says you can't put a car seat in a CyberBeast? Of course you can, everybody knows, right? Plenty of room, probably 4 inches there, and still room here, as I joke, with room for my Sweet Heat Kirkland trail mix. There's room for other people too. I love the ride height though. If you do go off-road, you've got plenty of space. 16.5 inches of clearance total, about 1 inches here, at about 7 or 8 inches in the upper raised suspension mode. And of course you got the tonneau cover. We've all seen this, but it's really cool in person with the light bar here. Room for a 5.5-year-old and some extra storage space in there too. Can you lift that piece up? All the way as hard as you can. There you go. Pretty big. An extra rear sub trunk in the Cybertruck.
And what's this?
Can power another Tesla Cybertruck, power your house for a day or two if you need. And then adjusting that suspension, pretty easy and effortless. And in real time, of all the vehicles I sell, BMW and Mercedes, I've not seen one go this quick. So let's go back to high mode. Check it out. Pretty quick. I think it's still going. It is going rear to front, rear to front. It comes down much quicker. Let's show you that too. So that took a little longer than expected, but that's pretty impressive, right? Look at that clearance. About 8 inches, I think, if my numbers are right. And then dropping it back down. Of course, it drops quicker with gravity, but yeah, it goes real quick. Sinking ship. The sinking Cybertruck. It's just a fun look. Kind of that lower profile. Say what you will about it, but I don't know. Let me know. Like it, love it, nix it. Let me know on the Tesla Cybertruck. Inside the Tesla Cybertruck CyberBeast and room for the family. Say hi, Matthew.
Hi.
And there's Emma. You can see the top of her head for now. Don't have the mirror yet, but she's engrossed in food. Anyway, lots of space, lots of fun. It's been a good drive. Overnight drive. Didn't have much time to really drive when you've got kiddos, you know. But we'll go for a little cruise. I'll give you some more impressions. Any questions? Let me know what you think. Thanks. Hope you're having a good one. Okay, driving in the Cybertruck CyberBeast, getting it back to charge and then drop it off. So follow along for the ride if you like. And we'll show you some perspective and insight on that CyberBeast. I've got another video out there with the regular Cybertruck. So this isn't too much different than this. Lowering ride height for more efficiency. But it weighs a bit more, I think. I got to verify the weight, maybe another 700 pounds. 6,683 pounds, I think, is what the Google AI guys tell us. And they're never wrong, right? Of course not. But that's roughly where we are. So 3 tons, big Cybertruck CyberBeast. And Tesla is doing these overnight drives in some locations. I don't know how much longer they're doing it in Myrtle Beach, because apparently there was a customer who had a little issue, scraped the bumper. Oops. That's no bueno. You know, for people who are just kind of tuning in or watching, with the tonneau cover closed, you use the camera instead of the rear view mirror. You can open the tonneau cover. You just have less visibility. Less efficiency, less aerodynamics when the tonneau cover is open, because the air is kind of getting stuck up there, or stuck back there, I should say. Full self-driving, once I put a destination in, we'll put it on, and then I'll chat a little bit about this. I know we're still on 13.2.9 is the latest software, the latest software on the truck right now, in this truck anyway. Version 14 is quite updated and revamped if you're following along that, so it's getting better and better. To engage, yeah, just push this button here. Well, let me set the destination. So I'll say, take me to Tesla Supercharger. Coastal Grand Mall, we'll do this.
Drive northeast on Highway 17, bypass south for 6.1 miles.
I'm gonna turn her voice off. Let's turn it down quite a bit. Actually, yeah, let's turn it down. Let's mute it. What the heck? Mute. Okay. So no volume there. So now I will do one touch button to engage full self-driving. We're in hurry mode, so it's a little more aggressive mode. You can set your max speed. It wants me to pay attention to the road, so I'm not going to mess with that too much. But there we go. Hands-free driving, everybody. Pretty incredible. I've had this on my Tesla. I've had a 2018 Tesla. And I got beta full self-driving, I think around 2024, if I'm not mistaken. 23 maybe. I'll have to go check. Maybe it's even earlier than that. Anyway, so it's been fun. And really good space in the back. Air suspension compared to the Model 3 Performance suspension. That's one thing I wanted to talk about. A 2-ton car versus a 3.5-ton maybe or so truck. Obviously, you're going to feel more movement with the body. One thing that I really notice on the air suspension is, on a smooth road, it is gradual, slower, softer movements, but they're more intense. In other words, my body, I feel like, moves more, even if it's slowly, compared to the Model 3 Performance suspension, which I think is more firm and not air. That feels almost, I don't want to say nervous and rigidy, but it is. It's like quicker little bumps. Still soft and pleasant and pliable, but comparing suspension both, obviously it's physics, right? So you can't defy physics. So the weight of the smaller Model 3 Performance, it's quicker to respond. This is slower, because of the soft suspension, but it's still more weight and inertia and movement, so you're definitely moving more. Probably this is more comfortable on a long drive, but both of them are equally good. They've definitely made some upgrades with the Tesla Model 3 Highland versus the previous generation, original style. So we're preconditioning for fast charging. 57%. I want to try to give them a little bit of charge, so they're around 70% before I drop this off. We'll see if I have enough time to get all that. Well, it should be all right, because we got 57% now. We'll see how quick it charges, at least to give it some. But fun truck, and for those of you who have Teslas and are curious about the truck, I hope you can test drive it, because it's definitely opened my eyes a little bit. I always thought it was cool and fun, and polarizing as the design might be, it's still a really good drive, and I like it because it's different. Look, there's another Ford F-150, one of the best-selling trucks in the universe, right? And they're great for what they are. But you've seen them, and the Cybertruck is definitely different. If it feels futuristic and love it or dislike it or don't want to even open your eyes to it, no worries. I just always like to put these videos out there to kind of show how easy and everyday living and livable it is. It's fun too. I wish I had another camera or two or three to show people's reactions. They get that bewilderment look, like what in the world is that, for those who haven't followed along. To thumbs up. Maybe you get a thumb down if someone gets really political. People still like to make these things political. I wish they wouldn't, but hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion or their bias or whatever you want to call it. I just think if you need to haul some stuff and you like throwing cargo in the trunk without getting in the back of your SUV messy, whoa, it's really easy. Plenty of space in there, that tonneau cover. I rented this to, not rented it, I just set up the test drive to pick up a tree from Costco. We were going to get a cypress tree for a backyard. Well, it turns out they were out of them by the time I got there, so that was kind of a lost cause. But in that case, when you're moving stuff or rehabbing or whatever, or using this as an actual work truck, it's definitely functional. I think many have said most people who buy the Cybertruck are first-time truck buyers. They don't necessarily need a truck or want a truck, but they're exploring it, getting it into the option. That's probably true. But this is just easy. We're just sitting kind of talking. I can't really look back at the camera too long, or it's going to alert me to look at the road. And apparently version 14, the newer software that's coming, for many people already have it, will be a little less naggy. I don't mind it. I don't mind it telling me to keep my eyes on the road. I'll tell you what it has done. It's curbed my necessity for texting, or at least curbed my habit of texting. I'll text at the stoplight sometimes. Each state has their own laws and ordinances, but now you can't do full self-driving if you're on your phone, which is good. I think it keeps everybody more focused on the road. The last time we talked, or last video I did on the Tesla Cybertruck, the non-CyberBeast, it was kind of hugging the left lane a little bit, and I gotta say, I'll go wide here. This looks pretty good. This looks pretty centered. On the way here, last night, it felt like it was a little bit more to the outside, but this looks pretty centered. I think we're going with that one on the inside. There, it's wanting me to pay attention to the road again. You get that blue flash, you get a warning, then it'll beep at you. You get 5 strikeouts, and then it kicks you out for, it was a week. I think now it's 3.5 days or something before you get each of those strikeouts back. So it gives you some leeway there. So there's where we're going. Preconditioning for the battery, like I said, and we'll go get this charged up a little bit for the next driver. I got to transfer a couple car seats into my Tesla that I left back there. But I'm always curious to hear what people think. If you've driven one, let me know your thoughts. Does it sound familiar, what I'm saying? If you haven't driven one, what else would you have questions about? Here we go. Hear that? That's just on the left lane. Now it is going to correct a little bit. On the rumble strips, far left portion of the road, it's getting over now. But my Tesla Model 3 with the same software has never done that I can recall. So I think they'll get it squared away, maybe in version 14. It's a bigger vehicle, completely different, and they've got to sort those things out. And I'm sure they will. And look, if that's the biggest gripe, that's a pretty small thing to complain about, I think, because it doesn't sit there all day. I remember when people first got these Cybertrucks, there was no autopilot, there was no full self-driving, so this is nothing compared to what everybody else went through. Matthew, what do you think back there? Pretty good?
Good.
It's comfortable, it's easy. I know you like your screen. We don't have your screen turned on. But what do you think, Emma? Emma is preoccupied with probably some food she shouldn't be having. Not the healthiest. I think it's the
Now
pretzels.
she's eating an apple.
Oh, apple, that's fine. Little natural sugar and fiber. Peanut butter pretzels, I think we had some before. Probably not the best, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right?
Yeah.
Keep the kids quiet. And
Emma quiet.
keep Emma quiet and somewhat satiated. We try to stay away from some of the bad stuff.
That's the only way we can keep Emma quiet.
There is a person right there that it sees.
So we're gonna run over him.
And I don't know if this is set up to park yet in version 13.2.9 software. It might just get us to the supercharger. And then we'll go from there. What you got, baby?
We're gonna run over the person with our CyberBeast.
This is cool too. Electrify America. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stalls. With 2 chargers on each side, I think. So that's kind of neat. All right, so we're pulling into the Cybertruck. There's the new Model Y. And is it going to back us in? The moment of truth. Looks like it is. That's cool. I think. No. Maybe it's waiting. Yeah, it's not going to. But it got us close. The new version, and on the cars, it will back you right in. So that's nice and convenient. And this 4-wheel steering. Okay, now here it gave me an option to park. I'll just do it the old-fashioned way here. This 4-wheel steering is great with the drive-by-wire. Pretty maneuverable. It took me a couple spots, but I think it's just because we entered a little bit crooked. Still not a 360 camera. Yeah, you have a front camera. Man, I wish Tesla could get the 360 camera that we have in our BMW and Mercedes, and almost everybody has something like that. All right, so I'm gonna try to get this puppy charged in. It's good. All right, so we'll charge, and hey, for now, we'll say goodbye. But again, hope everybody's having a good one. Stay positive, stay safe. Let me know what questions you have about Tesla, BMW, Mercedes, Kia. We sell them all except for Tesla. I drive those too. All right, take care, everybody. Hope you're having a good one. Bye-bye.